Today we are taking a look at my second knife, made by Liong Mah, or designed by Liong Mah, made by Riate. Last time we took a look at this one, which is the Warrior 2 version 3. Today we are taking a look at a quite different design, which is this one. This being the Eraser. So quite a different design. One shared similarity, other than being designed by Liong Mah, having the same blade steel, being M390 or M390, and the shield pivot, is that I went with once again the plain titanium, or plain. It's sculpted. I'm not sure how well it can be seen here, but it has this contouring here of sorts. So let's start by going over the specs, shall we? Always a good start. So this one has an overall length of 227 millimeters. So this is not a small knife. This is a large, long knife. The blade length is over 100 millimeters. It is actually 102 millimeters of blade length. So this is a long blade. The closed length of this one is 126 millimeters. So yeah, it is a large knife, but still kind of a light knife. Even so, it weighs 127 grams, which is quite light given its size, I'd say. Blade thickness, or spine thickness, is 3.65 millimeters, and there's not, as you can see here, you actually get the full thickness kind of for some time here. There is a swedge grind that can be seen partially here, but it's only at the very, this very last area of the tip. And as you can see, it is a drop point design, sort of, still a bit upswept as well. Sort of a full flat grind at that. So my first thoughts when I saw this knife, and especially when I got it in hand, is that I'm gonna use this one as my kitchen folder, or for food prep, because that is where this design is going to excel, or so I think. I haven't really put it to the test yet, but I will, starting maybe today actually. But a good kitchen knife of sorts. On top of the spine, as could be seen here as well, we got some jimping. It is not super aggressive. It's not super mild either. It does give you some bit of friction, not a whole lot. It feels kind of different from the Warrior 2 version 3, but it is, I'd say it's still, it has its practical function of sorts. So it's not just for show. It is actually working somewhat well. So, taking a look at the closing and opening action, it does close with a bit of a small push, opens up, not super strong, detent or such, but it does open up without much problem. I haven't had any issues with it, but you have to give it a bit of a push here to really have it snap open. Then again, this is a large blade. Like I said, it's over 100 millimeters long, the blade length. So yeah. And it closes fairly nice. Opening and closing is pretty good. Blade centering. Let's take a look at that, shall we? So, what can we see? I'd say it is fully centered. Yeah, it is pretty much 100% centered. This is a frame lock, as can be seen here, with a lockup of, I'd say, around 15%, something like that. Not a whole lot, but definitely not going to pose any issue in any way. This will work just fine. Blade play. There is no blade play. There is no lock stick. So overall, pretty, nice action, nice centering. Yeah. So on this one, you have a pocket clip here. Once again, much like the Warrior, this one is also quite, pointy. I mean, almost, I wouldn't say sharp, but it's not, if you press like this, it's not, it does feel less good, to put it like that. But it is what it is. But I feel this pocket clip less than I do, in hand compared to my Warrior. Maybe because of the general, handle design of sorts. And speaking of handles, as always, I wear size 10 in gloves, semi-large hands, but this is a large knife, so I mean, easy 4-finger, 5-6 finger grip, should you want to. And you also have a fully functioning choil here. And I like choils. Many people know that has followed me for quite some time. But if there is something I like, it is a fully, full choil that you can actually use. And this one does the trick for me. I love it. I love how this one feels in hand, and I love the choil here. One thing with the choil, when I use it, I do feel the pocket clip slightly more due to how the clip is pushing against my hand there. It's not a big issue, to be honest. It doesn't. I mean, it only feels in certain. Yeah. I mean, I can adjust my hand a bit to not feel it, but I am still a bit annoyed, to be honest, why they make pocket clips that are as pointy. Let's see if we can get this close up here. As pointy as this. You see there? If I just it leaves this mark on my finger. So it is. I would have gone with a more rounded design. There is room for it. Wouldn't have been hard. This to me is just it's unnecessary to make it that pointy. But other than that, this really does the trick for me. But here is my main concern with this knife, and that is on this back side here. Let's do like this. You see this area? This is some semi-aggressive jimping. Not too bad. I mean, if you do like this, it is a lot more aggressive than the jimping here on the spine. And the thing is that when this area here, when you open the knife, when you press, let's see, when you open the knife like this and you press in here on the back part, the jimping hurts my hand. So if I'm wearing gloves, not an issue. If I find a different way to open it, not a big issue. But if I open it like this, that jimping leaves a fair marker in my hand, and I have no clue whatsoever why you would add jimping to this area. I mean, it baffles me. I guess it's from, you know, a pure aesthetics point that it looks kind of neat, or that, you know, on a plain looking knife, or not plain looking knife, but when you go with a more clean design, sort of like the V-knife Wasabi, maybe they felt the need, or Liong felt the need to add some details of sorts, and went with this jimping here. But I can't for the life of me understand why he did that. Totally unnecessary, extra work, and just, it feels not good at all. Once again, it's not a deal breaker, but it definitely bugs me that they put jimping on this part. I'll see if I can. I mean, I'm tempted to remove the jimping myself in some way, but I'll see if I will have that done. So pocket clip, semi sharp edge, jimping, really not a fan of that. But if we put those two aspects aside, then this knife speaks to me. I'm still gonna recommend this one, and I do like it probably even better than the Warrior, which I do like a lot as well. So I mean, this is a design that speaks to me. The handle is super comfortable. Being able to fully use this choil and choke up for finer work, placing your thumb like this as well, and you know, jimping that actually works on top of the spine here. You know, given how light the knife is and its size and everything, this is a knife that I will. I was gonna say a knife that I will keep, but I keep all my knives, so I'm not a big fan of selling or trading knives. But like I said, I mean, if we will see a new version of this one, I would love to see a different pocket clip design, and I would love for them to remove, or just, you know, skip milling this jimping. Just skip it, and then you will have a perfect food prep kitchen utility knife of sorts. I mean, it's boasting my favorite steel as well. I mean, everything about this knife is, yeah, everything about this knife except those two parts is you know, totally my cup of tea. So a room for a little bit of improvement, but even so, this one is probably one of my, I'm probably gonna say that this is in my top 10. I should make a video where I go over all my folders so I can actually see what my top 1, top 3, top 5 and top 10 knives actually are. But even with these two small design flaws, in my opinion, this one still ranks high. Yeah, maybe we should do some sharpness testing as well while we're at it. We should do some food prep, but I'm running out of fruits and vegetables right now, so I can't do it this very moment. But we can revisit this knife later. Maybe I can do an updated video next week and show some more use. But let's go sharpness test now. Oops. I kind of expect this one to be super sharp, so, but I will say that the paper here is slightly damp because I am outside, and it is and it's actually snowing, so not the best setting here with damp, snowy, wet paper. But it still manages quite well. See if I can grab. Oh, it's really starting to pick up now. I'm not sure if it can be seen on my sweater here, but it is starting to snow quite a lot. And I'm not going to complain about that because I've been missing some snow, some real winter. So. That's the one final page before heading inside. I think my camera is somewhat water resistant though. Yeah, I think we're gonna settle with that and head inside. So, man, it's snowing a lot now. So I'm gonna go inside now. No food prep in this video, which is sort of a shame because this is a knife that I think would excel given its grind here, but I will make a separate video on that later on. So this is it for the eraser, large, light knife. I like it, but there is a little bit room of improvement, but I like it a lot. Let's do a final close-up shot here. Over and out.